Hello everyone, I'm Niranjan and it's my pleasure to present this research recently published in POM on behalf of the author team comprising Narendra and Nagesh. So what about this title, Crying Wolf and a Knowing Wink? This applies to a peculiar behavior that we call as discounting behavior that we observe in manufacturing supply chains. So today there have been lots of supply disruptions and with the pandemic, with geopolitical problems and environmental factors, because of which manufacturers tend to become a bit defensive. They try to sometimes exaggerate the required urgency or the required quantity of components when they place orders to their buyers, and with the hope that more or less their true demand will be met. And this inflation is a kind of a gaming behavior that eventually even the buyers come to know. So this is akin to crying wolf and a knowing wink by both the parties. They know that there is some exaggeration happening, and there will be, as a consequence, discounting of unfilled past orders. The past orders are going to be ignored or taken off the system, and this is the key behavior that we are studying. How did we study this? This phenomenon is something that we observed in our two detailed case studies, longitudinal case studies over years in the Indian manufacturing supply chain setting. We studied this behavior, then we realized there's a lot of psychological underpinnings of this. So we devised a behavioral experiment, a controlled experiment using eye tracking methodology, so that through the gaze behavior, we can actually pinpoint how they are considering past information versus current orders versus old orders and such things. The experiment is a little involved. It involves participants playing with both discounting supplier and a benign, nice supplier that tries to fulfill all of the past unfilled orders without discounting. And the treatments included, besides changing of the supplier for the better, the treatments included one, a placebo. Nothing else was done. In the treatment, we informed the buyers that the supplier has now become a nice guy. And in treatment 3, we also gave the optimal solution. And the results were surprising. We would think if the supplier has improved, the buyers would be happy. But no, that was not the case. Unilaterally, if a party in the supply chain diet improves for the better, it is not of any help. We found that the buyers seem to prefer the known devil, that is the discounting supplier, to the unknown angel, that is the no longer discounting supplier. This would only change if we are able to prime the buyers to the change in the supply behavior. If we inform them that the supplier's behavior is now going to be different and for the better. This was very similar to the intervention that the Confederation of Indian Industry adopted in these two firms. That is what inspired us to test these in the lab setting. So what we find is this is an important step, in a supply chain diet. It doesn't help to unilaterally change because the other party may not appreciate this. And while we use eye tracking to really pinpoint this behavior, the psychological underpinnings of this behavior, we feel there is much scope for the employment of eye tracking in other operations management domains, starting with inventory management settings such as ours, but a lot of others. So it has taken us about a year or two to just figure out the specificities of eye tracking to improvise it for operations management community. So with that, we hope future researchers will be able to employ this methodology and contribute to the, we are really excited about the prospects of this methodology in the future. So I would again thank POMS for giving us this opportunity. Thank you for listening. Thanks.